New Hazleton Area High School boys basketball head coach Tim Barletta says his passion for sports comes from his father. It was his mother who had to deal with him, an Orioles fan, his brother Fred, a Yankees fan, and his father, a Red Sox fan, at the dinner table. So she may be the true hero in this story, but that's for another day. It was Barletta's father Fred who brought him to Hazleton High School boys basketball games at St. Joseph's Gym. His dad also helped him get his first gig on the bench.
John Darrow came into town, and he was the new head coach. And my dad asked me, my son loves to come down from the school, you know, maybe he could be the manager or ball boy. And in 1977, I was the official ball boy for Hazleton High School. And I was so into it that my parents actually went out and bought me a little suit, coat and tie, and I dressed like John Darrow. And I would go home and I would say, I would act like I was talking to the team in my room, and I think I aspired to be a head coach from the 6th grade in 1977, that year with John Darrow and him making me the ball boy.
Barletta's love for local basketball goes back even further than that.
I was 4 or 5 years old, and I remember this. There was a player, and I could, 4 years old, 5 years old, there was a player named Duda. I think his name was Joe Duda. And I used to go home and pretend I was this guy Duda, and
Barletta lettered in basketball and baseball in high school and got into coaching in the late 80s. He started with junior high basketball, but he's also coached baseball and football. Hold that last one in your brain for a moment. For the past 14 years, he's been the head coach of the Hazleton Area Boys freshman basketball program. Now back to football, because Barletta spent time on George Curry's staff at Berwick and Wyoming Valley West. And I know everyone loves a story about Pennsylvania's all-time winningest high school football coach. So enjoy.
He taught so many lessons in life, not only in athletics and obviously, but in life. And he would get on you for everything. I mean, one time, he was a driver ed teacher, and one time he told me, in that voice, "Hey, pick me up," and I had to pick him up and give him a ride, and. He use your turn signal, park over there, why are you in that lane, and I was laughing. I was like going, I just got schooled. He said to me, he said, you know what, that voice, he said, you know what, he said, who was your driver ed teacher? They should have failed you. So, from nutrition to going to church to coaching, he was very charismatic, but he cared about people, and he drove everybody that was around him to be the best they could be at whatever they were doing.
George Curry is one of many coaches Barletta has learned from.
Here's what I've learned, and I learned this from people like Rocky Petrone, George Curry, Tony Farnell, who was a big mentor of mine. It's not a 4-year commitment, it's a 40-year commitment, okay? We want to prepare kids for life. It's more important. Winning's important, and don't get me wrong. People want to get excited and come out, and we're going to be the best we could be. But we want kids to be prepared for life, okay? And we're going to teach things other than basketball. Can I trust you? Can you trust me? Do you care about me? Things like that. Are you committed to being the best you can be? Are you going to treat other people the way you want to be treated? If you teach those life lessons, and I always tell people, and I hold this up in the locker room, and I say, this isn't very strong. But when you come together, it makes a fist, and that's togetherness and teamwork. And part of coaching in basketball and any sport in high school, preparing kids for life, is teaching them how to care about each other and trusting, and teaching them that there's sacrifices that make us better together, and that's how you're going to be successful in life.
On the court, here's what you're going to see from Barletta's Cougars.
We're going to be fundamentally sound. We're going to be, our base will be a man defensive team. I think all zone defenses are made up of good man-to-man principles anyway, so we'll work on a lot of footwork and a lot of man-to-man stuff. We'll run a motion type offense, continuity offense, where we're going to fast break, but if we don't have a fast break, we've got to learn to recognize that situation and have the discipline to set up a half-court offense. And we have the ball, they don't. Once we're in the half-court offense, my philosophy is run your offense or run whatever you're doing until you get the shot you want. So I think in certain situations we'll be a very patient team, And when the situation dictates, we'll fast break. But I want us to be fundamentally sound. I want us to play hard, tough defense. And rebounding.
Barletta has been living his dream of coaching for a while, but what was it like when he found out he was going to be the next head coach of the Hazleton Area High School boys basketball program?
The night I was hired, it was so exciting, and you have all this emotion. But I think immediately a reality set in that's humbling. There's been two coaches in Hazleton Area High School history, Bruce Leib and Mike Joseph. Both of those gentlemen were very successful. We've had a very successful basketball program, and now I'm the third coach, 27 years. So it comes with a lot of responsibility. I feel an obligation to the whole community and to those guys. They set the standard high, and I think my job is to keep it high. What I want to do is I want to have a first-class program on and off the court, make this community proud, but I want to hold up the standards that those guys set, okay? We were going to be the best we could be. We're going to work hard. We're going to go to bed tired, worn out, exhausted, being the best we could be. We're going to keep the standards high, and we're going to honor all the traditions of Hazleton basketball.
This all goes back to Barletta's ideals of looking out for your teammates and making sacrifices for others.
In order for people to be successful, someone along the line had to care about them. Someone had to make sacrifices to put people in positions to be successful. And I've been very blessed in that way. I had parents that cared about me. I have a mother who still every day of my life inspires me to be the best I could be. I've had many coaches, and I named several of them. And there's two guys, and I said it earlier, and I'm going to say it again. Bruce Leib hired me back in the program. Michael Joseph put me in positions that if he didn't do that, I wouldn't be sitting here with you today. So people cared about me. People made sacrifices for me, and I am always indebted to those people and owe them a thanks and show gratitude, because nobody could be successful without people making sacrifices for you.
I think Barletta ended the story perfectly with his words. I don't know what else to say, so here's a picture of Barletta with his dog Benji. For SSPTV Sports, I'm Ken Cara.